everyone, this is Lauren Etz. This is my week 5 multimedia presentation. I'm going to be going over organizations and their environment, as well as the importance of the environment that they're in. So a few of the topics that I will be covering is the importance of organizations and their environment, which is discussed first by Katz and Kahn, and then I'm going to be going over the confusion of the American system, which was probably one of my favorite theories to go over, and that's by Morgan Grodzins. And then as well, I'm going to be going over the complexity of bureaus by Anthony Downs and the life cycle, and going into the bureaus. And then I'm going to be giving my personal view on all this information I'm going to be giving. So organizations in the system concept, going over this chapter kind of goes over the importance of the environment, and then I also saw some of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, going over social science, being aware of your surroundings and kind of what you need as a human in your environment. So I put a picture of batteries because they talk a lot about energies, and they really go into the science of energy and the throughput and the output of open systems, which I thought was very interesting to kind of have a science perspective going into public administration. That's not something I would have found to begin with. And then the picture on the left with the system, and then inputting energy, the output function, use noise factors, then the design control factors of it. The American system can actually work together. I thought that Morgan Grodzins did a really great job at kind of going over the chaos of the American government, which is why I put this picture that's meant for kids, but I think that it's something that we can all kind of learn from, as the difference of the 3 levels of government. I put in, it kind of goes back to Weber needing well-defined formal hierarchy of command, who's in charge, and then Grodzins uses the example of, somebody that lives in Park Forest, Illinois, everything that all the types of governments that somebody has to follow. It's quite confusing when you have about 12 different types of governments that you look to and you have to follow rules for. As well as this kind of goes into Henri Fayol's 14 Principles of Management. Can you manage the country using these principles? And then, do Americans really know the difference between all 3 levels of the government that we have? And then for bureaus and their cycles, the characteristics, they're dominated by advocates or zealots. And then early phase of rapid growth, so when they're first beginning, they are growing extremely fast because everybody wants to be involved in the bureau and be involved in the cause, and then has to begin to seek sources of external support in order to survive. Division of labor is key, kind of going back to the 14 Principles of Management, and then in the chapter they use the example of the U.S. Air Force, which is, coming out of World War II, they have to have a separation, they needed this department. My view on all this for like the 1960s to 70s, education is key, and then setting aside differences and working together, which is something that Grodzins goes over. Can you really have all of these systems? We're so Democratic and Republican, but can you work together to come up with solutions, and then to also be open-minded? I added this picture of Watters World, and then also a link to one of his videos. I really enjoy watching this as he interviews people on the streets, because it really shows that people are not aware of what goes on in their government in the least. And then here are my references that I used. And then my closing slide, knowledge is power. The more you read, the more you educate yourself. The American system, it won't be so chaotic the more that you understand it, and the more then you can educate other people, and then working together as a team. Something that Groskins and all of them are kind of getting to that point. They all have the same idea that working together as a team and using everybody's separate skills is way better than working alone. And that is my week 5 presentation.